Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals. You've seen them on the show for a while now, a couple of months. If you're the do-it-yourself type, the guy who likes a luxury cabin in the Gatlinburg area, but you just want to do it yourself. You want to get up there, you want the hot tub, you want the fireplace, and you don't want to be around anybody. That's Parkside Cabin Rentals. They got luxurious cabins all over the Gatlinburg area. They do terrific. They get terrific options for you. Check out their website, parksideCabinRentals.com, to learn more. Visit that today. And while we are speaking of the good folks at Parkside Cabin Rentals, I put up a Twitter poll this week asking you if you'd rather have football or basketball season tickets for Tennessee. And the majority of you, 57%, said you'd rather have football. 34% said basketball. 9% said you prefer television. Well, here's the thing. Bad news for those of you who prefer television, because we're giving away tickets. And when I say we, I mean Parkside Cabin Rentals. Let's go ahead and show this. You can win free season tickets to Tennessee football this fall, Tennessee basketball this winter, individual games, and more, like cabin rentals. We're going to have a couple of our other sponsors going to be giving stuff away in this too. July 1st, on the Sports Source, we're going to have a 15th anniversary trivia challenge. And the gentleman on our desk will be answering questions representing 8 contestants at home. That could be you. And unfortunately for you, you could be paired with Chuck or Bob or Jimmy or Mike. Somebody out there is going to be saying, oh, please, give me Jimmy. Give me Jimmy.
I don't think so.
Name, address, and age. Send that to me via email. Name, address, age to sportsourcetv@gmail.com. There you see the website. I'm going to leave it up there for a second. Send it by June 25th. That's all it takes. You're entered. Then we draw out these 8 names. Everybody we draw out is going to win something. All the prizes are going to be good. And then June 1st, Mike's smiling at me because he loves how our game shows always blow up in my face. This is going to be a game show, and it's going to be good. The trivia challenge. All the questions span our coverage area, our coverage era, 2003 to 2018. So look, name, address, age, email me, sportsourcetv@gmail.com. Parkside Cabin Rentals making this all possible. Do it today. All right, guys. Let's talk a little football recruiting with Mr. Josh Ward here. You cover recruiting for Sports Animal 99. Is that what you're calling it now these days? Or just Sports Animal?
Yeah.
It's been 50 different things. It's Sports Animal, then I'm told don't do Sports Animal, and I'm too old and dumb to keep that straight. So I'm glad it's back to Sports Animal.
What do you think we went back to it?
That's 99.1 and 990 for you at home, so a double plug there for you.
Thanks.
Talk to me about the commitment they grabbed this week.
Yeah, good prospect. Anthony Harris. Tennessee needs help in the defensive backfield, so a safety from Havelock, North Carolina, same high school. Kendall Vickers, former defensive lineman, attended. Montero Hardesty is back, a part of Tennessee's football program, working with the staff. He's from North Carolina. There's a connection there, but Tennessee's coaching staff did a really good job. Cornerback is still a big need, but they need help at both spots, looking forward, corner and safety. So they add Anthony Harris at the safety position.
It's also summer camp season, and we're not talking Camp Mohawk for the Meatballs fans out there. Camp, tell us about the camps that are going on.
Yeah, a lot of players visiting camp and visiting campus and going through camp activity to be evaluated by Tennessee's coaching staff. And when we've talked about in-state players, especially for the 2019 class, and Tennessee staff deciding who they want to offer, how hard they want to pursue these players, I think a lot of it is waiting on evaluations from the staff. So there will be recruiting that goes on, but there will also be evaluations starting this weekend and going through this week for Tennessee staff to decide what they want to do moving forward.
And is there any news on Brandon Kennedy?
Well, the waiting game.
Any late breaking news?
Yeah, the waiting game continues, and it's really been kind of quiet on Tennessee's front. And there's a report late last night that he might be looking at another school, perhaps an ACC school. So Brandon Kennedy leaving Alabama, spurring on so much grad transfer talk within the league, Tennessee or Auburn. Could he ultimately decide to leave the league and go to an ACC school? But right now, quiet on the Tennessee front. If Tennessee were to land him, I'd say the goal is try to get him in here July for that second session of summer school before fall camp begins in August.
Guys, the Tennessee recruiting class is already up into the top 20 now after they have gone through a run here. It's like they're adding a kid a week for the last 4 or 5 weeks. Your thoughts on the recruiting value? I mean, how do I say this? For so long, Tennessee wasn't recruiting gangbusters. Then Butch Jones comes in, your top 10, your top 10, your top 15, your top 5, and you go 0-8 in the SEC. How much of this, it's great, you want to be up there, This staff on paper looks like they're going to be recruiting aces. You're now inside the top 20. Everyone expects that to climb. But are you a little bit leery of the recruiting thing at this point? Or, like most fans, are you saying, no, that's only because the Jones staff couldn't coach them up. These guys will coach them up. Where are you on this recruiting thing? Because, I mean, for me, I'm a little gun shy because we played up the recruiting and it didn't result in much more than 9-4 seasons. So where are you with this right now, their ranking and where they're going to finish?
Gun shy, but less gun shy than you probably.
Okay.
I'm a little gun shy, but I do. Here's the thing to me: if you have top 5 classes 5 years in a row, then you're probably going to be pretty darn good. But when you start having classes that are 15 or 20, I think there's some, that doesn't necessarily translate to me that you're going to be a top 15 or 20 team or program. So I think the further you get away from the top 5, the more question marks you have about the rating of a class.
We just saw Tennessee win a SEC basketball title, or share one, with pretty much all 3-star guys, but that is such an anomaly. And especially in football, where you got so many more moving parts involved, you better recruit.
And Sterling Hinton wanted, but we're talking about 2019 recruiting, but I just got a text from Sterling Hinton who wanted to point out that one of the top recruits, top quarterback recruit for 2021, Aaron McLaughlin, is going to be working out for Coach Pruitt today, according to Sterling. But we were talking 2019. We'll jump ahead to 2021. Sterling's all fired up. That, as a matter of fact, there are exclamations in this thing. It is only Sterling can send it. So, all right. Thank you, Pearl. When we come back, should Vol fans, speaking of quarterbacks, should Vol fans care who wins the quarterback job? Should they just be pulling for the best guy to win the job? Or is there reason to pull for one guy over the other? We'll discuss. Come on back.